Good morning, Facebook people. It is me, Fancie Moore, and we are doing another Road to 40 Lounges and Why I Lounge. Today we are meeting with the Tobacco Box owner, David and LaDonna Adams.
Hello.
We're at the Rowlett store, and today I just wanted to come and just let you all know that my experience first began with just the welcome that comes when you walk in the door and people just look like they're happy to see you. And when I first came, it just hasn't stopped. So at this point, I want to talk about you. Ask me anything, because I'd love to tell you what actually drew me to you.
Well, I find it interesting, a woman walking in to the cigar lounge just by herself, not knowing anyone, because I'm wondering, would I do that, and how welcome would you feel going in? What that atmosphere is like stepping in there? Because I didn't go into any of the lounges until we were in the process of buying them. So
Wow.
that was my first experience going in. And of course, it was a little bit different, but it's always really cool when I go in. The guys are really nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're friendly. But I always wonder, is it just a man's atmosphere in there?
It has been in the past.
It has been in the past, and actually, that particular thing about it just being a man's atmosphere at your store, that actually kind of tickled my fancy, pun intended. When I first went to Tobacco Box, it's because I was looking for something different, and I was over by Ray Hubbard. So I went into that store, and when I walked in, there was like 6 seats, and my face just lit up. I thought, yes, I get the cozy, quaint appeal that I like when I smoke. And better than that, the look on the faces of all gentlemen, because that's all that's ever there, was just kind of, eyes just kind of lit up, but nobody said anything. And of course, I'm thinking, they didn't put me out, then I'm welcome. And so I got the one seat that was left, and as I sat and smoked, you know, everybody just kind of said hi, just generally. And then we just watched TV, and those that kind of knew each other had simple dialogue. And from there, I felt completely welcome. And the part that got me the most was when I got ready to leave. Like, no real dialogue was had by a room full of men. And when I got ready to leave, they say, "Thank you for coming and adding class to our lounge, and we hope you come back." And I looked and I thought, I knew I was welcome, but I think I just nailed this
That was
one.
awesome. You made the place look good.
So at that point, I just made a point, when I got free moments, to get on the highway. Yes, and I drive to where I want to go. I made a point to get on the highway and get to that lounge as many times as I could. So, and it's been everything that I appreciate in a lounge. As a woman who actually likes the cigars,
Mm-hmm.
yes, there are men there. We are not going to deny that truth, okay? But just the helpfulness of the staff and the welcoming of the people that are just there, that come there, and they come all the time, is what I found out.
Oh, yeah.
These are people that love your shop, and this is their home shop.
Yeah, there are a few that it's odd if you go in there and you don't see them on a certain day. You're so used to them being there. It's kind of like, okay, where are they today?
Yes.
You miss seeing them.
It is. It's a tight-knit group, but it's still open.
Yes.
You know, when people go to the hospital, we go and visit them.
Wow.
When somebody doesn't show up for 3 or 4 days, we had a gentleman that didn't show up for, and he's a daily customer. He didn't show up for 3 or 4 days, and I asked my staff, I said, have you seen him? And they're like, no, I hadn't heard from him. That's kind of odd. Maybe he's out of town. So another 3 or 4 days went by. We went through our contacts and got his phone number, and I called and just left a message. Well, come to find out, he was in the hospital, and we had no idea. And it just really touched him that we were reaching out to him to find out, you know, where he was and where he'd been. And he's a good guy. And that's, you know, the group here also, and at both locations, they're really good at when someone new walks in, standing up, shaking their hand, opening up the lounge. You know, this is not a This is not a niche type of atmosphere. We're always looking forward to new people because everybody. It's what I love about the cigar lounge atmosphere. We come from all walks of life.
Yes.
We have different politics. We have different religions.
Yes.
We have different. We work differently. With some people work at home. Some people work. It's some people travel. It's just crazy, and the networking involved.
Yes.
Is just, I really, really love that. We have people that are retired. I mean, it's we have younger people that are just getting into their line of work and their career building, and they're getting advice, and
Yes.
I love it.
Really interesting. I was in the lounge one afternoon with a regular group, and a new gentleman came in, young man came in, and they helped him get a cigar, and he sat over in the other lounge by himself. And after a while, the guy started engaging him. Now, if he wanted to be by himself, it was fine, but they were very welcoming and just, what are you watching? What are you smoking?
Yeah.
How's your day? Because, going into a new place where you have a bunch of people in one group, it can be a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So they were so nice and, talking to him and bringing him in then. And then somebody went over there and sat in that lounge with him. So I thought that was nice. You don't have to feel alone, or you can, sneak back to the other lounge and sit by yourself if you want to be totally alone.
So, based on what you just described about reaching out to the gentleman and what you're describing, you actually touched on something that I almost had to keep myself from putting, and I think I might have done it in my written review. Remember Cheers?
Yes.
You want to go where everybody knows your name. And I mean, that's the impact, what you just described, that's the impact that this had for me. Every time I came, I'm like, they know who I am, they know my name. Sometimes we have dialogues, most of the times we don't, but they know who I am. And you saying that, the song just went through my head. And I'm thinking, Cheers.
Well, do you remember the experience? We had a gentleman who came for one of the events. Very first time he was here, and he sat in the back lounge. Some other people joined him. We introduced ourselves that day. It was very quick. A lot of people here that day. Hello. A couple of weeks went by, and we came in, and I saw him in the lounge, and I went over and I said, "Oh, hi, Greg." And he said, "You remember my name?" He said, "Well, yes." And he said, "I never expected that y'all would even remember my name." I said, "Well, I remember you were at our event." So it was nice, and we do get the opportunity to come in and meet people face to face.
Yes.
So it could be a part of it.
Well, the main thing I look for when I go to the lounges, and this is the fun part about it, I've already been to the lounges. So the reviews and the interviews are just coming kind of after the fact, because it's an industry that I love, and I'm finding a lot of people love it. And I'm thinking, if I have people that trust what I'm saying, then I want to help this industry that much. And I want people to see every facet of it, because one lounge doesn't appeal to the millions of people who smoke. 10 lounges doesn't. But all the lounges I've been to, everybody is going to find something. But the service is what nailed it, is what made me knew I wanted to do the interviews before you even knew who I was. That was the catch. Now that I've been to the lounges enough and I've gotten to know more about you, we hosted our first ladies night here, which was your first ladies night for Smoking Hot.
Fun night.
That was amazing. I saw the pictures of you, and you were laughing like you were just having this.
I had a wonderful time. It was awesome.
And those ladies felt so welcome. And after that, that was my first ladies night ever. So it was a first for all of us. But what happened was, the ladies that didn't come, they started like, "Hey, I heard it was awesome. When are you doing another one?" And so, but I chose to do that because I thought there's more than one way to get behind a business. You can get behind them by hosting events there. You can get behind a business by something I'm choosing to do, which are the interviews, the reviews. I have a great talent for writing.
Yes.
I love doing the videos because I'm thinking, it's natural for me, but it gives back to you. And it all started with, I guarantee you, the first 2 visits, I can tell if I'm into a lounge. The first 2. If I go the first time and I think it's great, and I'm thinking to myself, go back again to make sure you didn't miss something, make sure it's what it was. If I went and it wasn't great, I'm thinking, go back again, or maybe even a 3rd time to see if I made a mistake in what I was seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's happened now is, I'm just happy to say, you all fell in the top 5.
Awesome.
And that was
exciting.
Yes, the welcoming, the customers, and how they made you feel that sense of cheers, like, hey, Fancie, oh, you came back. Oh, we haven't seen you in a while. That is the welcome I get every time I go to the one in Rockwall. And we sit, and they're like, what are you smoking today?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what are you smoking today? And then we're sitting, we're watching sports or whatever's on TV. Now, after that, the rest of it is just pure relationship building.
Yes,
Because it comes because you gave me an experience that I wanted to repeat, so much so that I even wanted other people to know. And this one I love because I found out the lady that did the food for the ladies' night, her husband was already coming here and buying cigars. And when she told him that I was doing the ladies' night, he goes, hey, I usually just go in and pick them up. Now I think I'll stay and smoke. Because she said it was a great place. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, y'all are just making me feel all kinds of ways. But what that told me too is that people trust. And so I want to use that in a positive way. And
the introduction of women to smoking lounges is a new thing, probably in the last couple of years or less. And as guys, we need a place to stop by on the way home.
Thank you for saying
and
that.
just chill and decompress, and so that when we go home, we're not bringing work home with us, and the family actually gets to enjoy you being home from work instead of waiting for you to decompress. So, but the ability now to bring our ladies into the lounge just opens up more time for you to get to spend at the lounge. Now you're still away from the family, but you know what? They know where you are. They know what's going on.
Yes.
They can be involved if they like. LaDonna's really good about, my fear when we purchased the tobacco box was, I've always heard, don't turn your hobby into your living.
Yes.
You're just going to find another hobby.
Yeah.
And I was worried about that because this was my hobby, and I've been coming up here for 15 years.
Yeah.
And so when the previous owner and I sat down and he decided he wanted to retire, and I said, well, why don't I buy it? And he said, well, why don't you? And then we worked it out. But my fear was, that's where I go to decompress. That's where I go now. How's that going to work? And it hasn't changed. And the owning a lounge brings its own set of challenges. Some I was not prepared for.
Yes.
and others I knew how to handle, but I still come up here and just chill.
Yeah.
And LaDonna's really good about allowing me to still have that time. I'm going to be up here working a lot.
Yeah.
And she's good about not giving me too bad a time about it.
Well, he'll have his days where he's going between both stores. He starts off very early in the morning, and I need to go to Rockwall, and then I need to go to Rowlett, and then it's back, home, and he's working and doing stuff, and that evening he'll say, I'd just like to go up and have a cigar.
Yeah.
Now, he could smoke at home, but I know that's not the same as coming up here. It's totally different. It's just, I think, okay, that's where he wants to go and spend that hour or two, and he'll come home, and he'll feel a lot better after he's been up there.
But I love it when she comes up. And
it was different when I come up. But
did you hear that, ladies? They love it when we come up.
We do. We're not.
And what we found is that we have a core group of customers that are up here on a regular basis a lot. Well, once we bought, and I started spending time up here at the store, several of their wives started coming up. So
Yes.
we've had nights where the women are up here and we're in a lounge. We're having a wonderful time, and we don't have to smoke anything to sit there. We're
Yes.
just having a great time. If the guys want to come in and be a part of our conversation, that's fine. But we're having a good time up here, and we're still in the same.
And you know, as an entire group, and some of the people are, you know, within this core. Some of them are just customers and wanted to go along.
And see, that's what I'm finding about the smoking lifestyle and the smoking culture, is it's drawing people to a point where they want to do things together.
Mm-hmm.
And it all started with that smoking connection.
Yes.
And what I found is that, like, the people that I'm interviewing, the owners, what's most amazing is I know you just from the surface. And I like it that way because then there's no bias in what I do.
Right.
It literally is just
Right.
about the service and
Yeah.
the business. And the fact that I want to come back and you contribute to my culture. But what ends up happening is you do want to connect further at some point. You want to learn more. And what I found, like the last interview I did with D&B Cigar Corner, I was educated on camera. It was mind blowing. And so that to me, when I got ready to walk in today, you all made me nervous. It did. You know, I'm thinking, oh, I'm going in and I'm going to do this. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm nervous. I'm nervous because what I discovered, what kind of came to me is I'm learning in these interviews something more. And I want to expand on you all. Yes, I went to the store in Rockwall, but when I ended up at the one in Rowlett by accident because I thought my GPS was sending me to the wrong location, what ended up happening is I walk in the door and I'm just floored. I'm floored. I work out every day, so everybody knows I'm in tennis shoes, workout clothes, I sweat, I post those pictures. But I'm also a businesswoman at heart. And when I walked into this one, I'm like, I can do some stuff in here. And I you know, normally I come in, I'm excited, hands are, you know, ringing, looking for the next cigar, eyes are bright. But the ambiance in this store here in Rowlett was so mind-blowing. I thought, I'll see the cigars later, show me the rest of the shop. From the floors, the wall, the decor. They have antique pieces in here that are fabulous conversation pieces that are just awesome. And the whole setup is just mind-blowing. And I'm a nook and cranny type of person, so they've got like little spots. So after I saw one spot, I was like, oh, I like this. What's around there? Oh, I like that. And then I go into another location in the lounge, and I'm thinking, just give me a cigar. I don't care what I smoke today. I just want to sit in this lounge and smoke. And it has that feel that now I just feel like, hey, I know exactly where I want to go when I want to do certain things. So what I'm going to say to you that are interested in checking them out, you should really check them out in their Rowlett store. I don't want to give it all away, but you know, I always do still photos that go along with the interviews and the written review. They will be posted with pictures of the owners as well, so you can actually get a feel and see what I saw. I'm just no less mesmerized today than I was when I first walked in here a few months ago. And it is the place that I keep looking at my calendar going, I can get there on this day. I can fit it in on this day, because now my schedule is filling up, of course, with interviews and reviews and things like that. And then the fact that I still have a day job. But I always look at my calendar to see when I can squeeze in this lounge in particular. I just want to say that I am honored that this is making me more nervous, because it also tells me that I'm doing something that is not easy. It feels easy to me, but it also let me know the magnitude. When you find great places and you find a great place that you like to be, it's important to support those businesses. And you can support them. If you don't have the finances, guess what? You got skills and talents.
Mm-hmm.
You can support in different ways. And if I can't say that, hey, I came here, I smoke, I brought a date, a first date, which I let no one in my personal space, and I actually brought a date here, and then we've done the ladies' night, and there's other things that we can always work out. So I have expanded and I came up here to do business one day because this meeting room is phenomenal. This place has things that no other lounge can touch, but they all offer their uniqueness, but you've got to see what this one offers. But I just want to say that it felt nice to be nervous about coming to interview you, because I thought, you know what, this is some good stuff. And I don't know how it plays out until we sit here in front of the camera, and I love that part.
Oh, thank you.
And I love the stories, just.
It's really great too to have someone's opinion of going in, because we're new to this. We didn't know what we were doing as we were setting into it.
You are doing it well.
Well, I have a love for the Rockwall store. When we bought the stores, we didn't have this location. We moved in here in January. So we had the smaller store in Rowlett, which was the store David always went to. I did not even lay eyes on the Rockwall store until the day before we were closing on it. And David had said, I love Rowlett. I love Rowlett. Okay, you love Rowlett. And he said, Rockwall, okay, but Rowlett is home. Well, we walked in there and I thought, I love Rockwall. Because there was a coziness to it and stuff. I said, I love Rockwall. So I knew how I felt about it.
Yeah.
But how someone else comes in, and particularly here, because this was try it and, trial and error with what we were doing, and we wanted it to feel like we do in our home, just something comfortable and kind of be cozy like that. So
you did it.
Well, thank you. We hoped. We had lots and lots of discussions over everything trying to do.
You did it. Yeah, it to me out there gives you that sense of, you come home, you sit in the sitting room, the family room, like even in my own home, and you got the TV, but everything is close enough where you can have a dialogue at the end of the day. And David, I don't think you could have expressed it more perfectly when you said it's a place to decompress. Mm-hmm. I laugh about my friends who tell me, you're such a dude in a girl's body. Like, yes, they can't wear the hair and the dresses like I do with the Chuck Taylors. But in that instance, when you were describing how you come to decompress, that's exactly why I do it. Yeah. That's why the lounging is so important to me. That's why it's important, like the quaintness, because I can't decompress in a big, 500 people around me where I'm smoking. Right. I go to some of the socialization stuff, but I need the quaint. I need the cozy. I work from home. I need a place to work away from home. Mm-hmm. This gives me that. If I want to sit with the date, we sat right here at this table outside the door, and we had a meal. Yes, brought my own food. We had a meal. We had cigars and drinks. Then we went around to the little nook over there in the corner, watched TV where we could chat more, just kind of cozy.
Private,
yeah. And then we did the ladies' night. We did it all out here in the big open area. Mm-hmm. And the ladies that you brought in with the ladies that we brought in, I'm telling you, it was the most amazing thing. But your openness and your service made me know what to do. It wasn't like it was even work, other than trying to get the food here without dropping it all on the ground. I dropped the food that night and had to run to the store and just get some trays.
Food was awesome though. Everything was
but
so
it was
nice.
Amazing. But your service, your welcoming, made me know how to present this. So that really was just a reflection of your business as in and of itself.
Oh, thank you.
So,
well, that's really what the difference maker is between lounges. We're all going to carry basically the same cigars. There'll be some boutique stuff that you may or may not want to carry, but basically the cigars are all going to be the same. The difference is the atmosphere.
Yes.
And we're totally new to this.
And you know what? Do not sleep on their cigar humidor, okay? Their cigar, okay, we all know, great lounge, great atmosphere, but we all know we actually love the stogie
It's
as well.
still about the cigar,
Yeah.
yes it is.
Their humidor in Rockwall will knock your socks off. you will not be disappointed. The humidor they have here in Rowlett is not as big, but the quality of the product is spot on. So if you're looking for great cigars, go. If you want the ambience, go. If you want the service, go. If you want a place to have game night, if you want to host a ladies' night, if you want to have just to get together for your birthday, even, you know, just to go. I'm telling you, I could live my whole life in every aspect coming into these lounges.
Well, we appreciate that. We wanted, you know, we're doing this shoot in a conference / game room that we built.
Hey, the tabletop comes off and turns into
full poker game.
Poker table.
Yes. It's trying to contain the poker players.
A customer of mine actually built this tabletop to turn the Hold'em table into a conference table. And, you know, we have fantasy football drafts here. We have, you know, we've got sliding barn doors behind us so we can close it off. It's a separate smoke heater above the ceiling. So you can be completely secluded in here with the big screen TV. You can have, if you want to have your own poker night with your buddies, come up and you know, do that. We play dominoes, backgammon. We do all kinds of things, and it also doubles as another lounge once we get full out there. We have 3 full lounges out here, and then this area here, so we can hold 40 to 50 people. So, but it doesn't. It feels big when you walk in, but it still feels quaint. It's kind of odd how that came about. The third lounge in the back is just a small lounge with 6 chairs or 5 chairs and a big screen. So if you want to go back and spend some, either be alone or take a date or whatever, it's separated from the rest of them. Yes. So it turned out nice, and I'll say that you know, we have the cigar industry is under attack right now by the FDA, and this is the part they don't realize. They don't get this part. And you know, we have competition everywhere, and I've got a competitor right around the corner down the street. And it may sound crazy, but I want them to succeed the same as I want to succeed. And I hope they want me to succeed, because a rising tide floats all boats. And the more common that lounges and cigar smoking becomes, the harder it's going to be for them to stamp us out. And so, you know, they're wanting to group cigar smoking right in with the same group that smoke cigarettes and vapes and everything, and it is just a complete different world. And hopefully they start to realize that. But you know, come down, bring your wives, bring your girlfriends, bring anybody you want, as long as they're age 21 or older, and we'll have a good time.
And what I'm hoping, you know, since you touched on that, it's a wonderful place to decompress and meet and interact. And my reviews, I have 2 years worth in the bank now. Wow. That's how many different lounges I've been to. These are now getting ready to roll on a regular and consistent basis. And I'm doing it so that what we enjoy, it didn't start off as this. It just started off, hey, I want to get behind this business because they're great and I want people to see and know. But now it's beginning to lend itself more to what David just explained. And so it's giving you a reason now to want to move around and help support the businesses so that we can continue to do what we love, which is smoke cigars, and then everything else that extends from that naturally. I love it. I don't want to lose it. I want the lounges. I need the lounges, and I know everybody else does too, because you can't just always go home and go to work.
Right.
And so I don't think you could have said it any better. So please continue to enjoy the reviews and the interviews. They will be coming now. Like I said, I've got 2 years already lined up because I've been to that many lounges, and there'll be even more. Each one, I hope you will really take advantage of the uniqueness of the written pieces that I do for each, of the just the conversations that are taking place. So you learn more about who you're actually supporting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that personally I can give back to what we love to do. And it gets bigger from here. And I want to say thank you all for, and now I do have to ask, what was your take on me when you first met me? Because I knew my take on you, and I've never asked anybody this. Well, yes, I did. The last interview, I did ask because that was hilarious. I'll tell you about that off camera. But I'd like for you to tell me, what was your take on me as a customer when I first came in, and then the next 2 or 3 times I came in?
I got a call one day.
Oh dear, when they're calling about the customers.
Okay, I'm about to be educated on camera because this part I don't know.
I got a call one day from the Rockwall store. I believe it was Travis.
That's who I meant first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trav Browning.
He sends me a text. He says, "Hey, you busy?" I said, "Of course not." He says, "Call me." So he said, "I'm going to call you." And I said, "Okay." So he calls me and he said, "Dude, you need to come over here." And I said, and of course I'm like, "What happened? What's wrong?" You know. And he said, "No, there's a lady over here. She goes by Fancie." And I'm like, "Oh Lord." And he said, "This woman has got it together, and she is I want to say, you know, she was an educator. I can't remember if you were a teacher or a writer." And he said, "Dude, she's got her stuff together." And I said, "Well, I can't get over there right now." But and so he gave me the down low one.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I need to meet this woman. This is something special. And then the next time you went over there, I think I was already there.
Yes, you were.
I was sitting at the table, and Travis was there. And you walked in, and I looked at Travis, and he goes, and I said, "Okay, that's her." And you sat down, and we just had a fantastic conversation.
Awesome.
And I was impressed. I've always been impressed with
Thank
you. You're well put together. You have your thoughts in line. You're professional. At the same time, you know how to hang with the boys.
Oh, yes.
Which was part of our conversation,
Yes.
because David was telling me about you. He said
Oh, wow.
she's going to Rockwall. Travis had told me, and I met her today, and he said, and she holds her own with these guys.
This lady right here can smoke anything plus some that my biggest boys out here can smoke, and that's been brought up that she smokes cigars I can't smoke.
And I thank you for that, because I did have that experience with another very popular lounge. I just went in one day. I think the first time I went, I was blown away. I was like, wow, I like it, like this one. And then I thought, go back a second time to make sure. And the second time I went, I thought, go a different day, different time of the day. So I went in the evening, and I found my little corner, because I'm known for finding my corner. Let me smoke by myself. And I found my little corner by myself, while all the people were enjoying themselves, and the owner's moving around talking. But I noticed out of the corner of his eye, he keeps looking at me, and I'm thinking, dude, just let me get through the first hour before you say a word. And the next thing I know, he pulls up a chair next to me, and he just sits there. And he looks at what I'm wearing. I had on a leather jacket, a black dress, and I had on the watch. And I just noticed he just starts looking me like over, like, I'm like, okay, he is sizing me up. And he was trying to figure out, who was I, and was I somebody important?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thinking to myself, and this is what I told him, I said, dude, I really just like to smoke cigars. I was like,
really, I'm here for the cigar.
and he's like, but something about you is saying more. And I'm like, more, Fancie Moore. But I literally, my whole take on this is the road to 40 lounges. I'm just a lady who loves to smoke cigars, and was finding out that with every lounge, I'm like, hey, this one's different. Oh wow, this one's different. And it just mesmerized me so much. And I ended up going to so many, I just gave myself the goal. Road to 40 lounges.
Wow.
And then after that, it's like, okay, you've been to enough. Now you know which ones to recommend people to go to. And I thought, next came the why I lounge. So let me tell you why I lounge. Let me tell you why I lounge at this lounge or that lounge. And so that's where we are now. And I definitely appreciate that because I do a lot of things by myself. So I don't always see how people observe me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I asked that question, because I wanted to know, okay, what was your experience of me? Here it is. In my mind, I just went to smoke a cigar. But I'm glad that Trav gave such a recommendation.
Oh, he did.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm glad that you were impressed as well. And I want to say thank you for trusting me, because to allow me to put you on a public stage, thank you for trusting me to do this.
And we appreciate it. We're very uncomfortable in that position.
You led this conversation, you led that dialogue, and you guided me to where to go with you with this. So
Well, we have a motto here, and it's no pretense, just good smokes.
yes.
And that was actually Scotty, one of our employees, came up with that. And that's us in a nutshell. Because we've always been the lounges where all it is guys, they want to see what you pull up in, what you drive, what you watch. Look, they want to see how you're dressed. What are you smoking? Oh, you're smoking a $5 this and that. You need to try this $20 this and that. And that's exactly the opposite way of where we wanted to go. Everybody here is on an even playing field.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what you smoke. It doesn't matter what you drive or what you wear or anything. It's just no pretense, just good smokes.
Thank you.
It's all about the cigar, and it's all
much.
about the people hanging out.
And the one thing that I hope, because I have so much on the agenda now, I hope that as I touch each lounge, and each lounge touches me the way this one did, and I bring other people, that then you can begin to build relationships with them,
Yes.
that they can say, okay, I want to have a ladies' night here.
Yeah, I would do
That I want to have a get together here, or that the gentlemen say, hey, you know what, let's go over to Rowlett for a poker night, or for spades or for dominoes. So the people that I bring in, I won't try to bring in, hey, I'm going to bring 20 of my closest friends, but I will bring people and say, hey, why don't you talk to them about doing this? Because then you are replicating.
Yes.
And then that allows me to keep moving around and doing this instead of just focusing on one niche. But you can get other people expanded into helping. Hey, why don't we have this?
And we have amazing employees. They're
Yes.
awesome. They
We have
are
the best
just
employees.
great.
Chip Davis, Trav Browning,
Scotty.
yes,
Scotty.
Scotty,
Dobie.
Jack, Dobie Elliott.
Yes.
A lot of people know
I'm
Dobie
telling
for being
you,
around.
the staff is
downtown.
just
They
as
are
amazing as
phenomenal.
the people sitting
They
there.
are. We love our guys. They are
Truly
amazing.
blessed.
Yes.
Yes.
Good employees. And it's hard to get, we've got 5. All 5 of them are just,
They're golden.
there's
Yeah.
not a weakness in the bunch. So,
Yeah.
really fortunate in that aspect.
So thank you all.
Thank you.
And I hope you enjoyed
Fancy.
this interview, and the written review will be attached to it in just a few minutes. And please watch again and again. Feel free to share it. I do have some surprises coming for you all later. I will hold them under the table for now, but if I'm going to deliver this to you, then I'm going to deliver to you in a way that fully meets you and that fully surprises you, and that I hope will just keep you coming back and watching more. Like I said, I've got 2 years worth of interviews lined up because I've been to that many lounges, and I've got more to go to. So it doesn't just end with 40 lounges. I have actually almost hit 50, and I'm still climbing. Now I'm looking at expanding out past where I am. So thank you all for following. Thank you all for sharing. I do get to see some of the analytics to see how many people are watching these. I've seen people sharing them, so thank you. And I've got great feedback. So feel free to send me any feedback on them as well. Let me know if there's a lounge you want to make sure that I've hit. Chances are I've already hit it. Their review's already been written because it's usually written by the second visit. I don't tell anybody that because I need it to just be an authentic, a real interaction. because if I'm not here and I send someone, I need them to trust
Yeah.
that, hey, this is what they deliver for me every time. So if you say, hey, where's a good place to go? I can say, go to Rowlett Tobacco Box, and I know there won't be anything negative said, nothing but positive. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fancy.
I want hugs. Because I have
We
just
can do
made
that.
friends. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Fancy.
Madonna.
Thank you, hon.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.